All right, Shade Tree Jet Ski. Jet ski season is pretty much over. It is November. Not many people ride jet skis in the cold weather. Some people do, just like some people ride motorcycles in the cold. But you want to get your jet ski ready for winter. It's best to have your trailer up like this so that no water will accumulate in your footwells. You want to have your drain plugs pulled so no water can accumulate in the hull where it could freeze. So trailer up, drain plugs pulled. Of course, you want to put a cover over this to keep that from happening, all these leaves and what have you. You want to remove your battery, take it inside, put it in your garage, and keep it on a trickle charger that maintains it if you have that option. You can see I've set my Yamaha up with a solar charger panel. Those are fairly inexpensive and available at most auto parts stores. You can use that if you don't want to remove the battery from the ski. The best practice is to keep it in a warmer place, like in your garage, if at all possible. My garage would not be much warmer than the outside because it's a separate building. It's just a shed, so I'm using little solar panels to keep my batteries charged. So with the Kawasaki's, it's a little bit more difficult than a Yamaha, only because of getting to the hoses, and that's one of the ones you want to get to right there. And it's there on the side of your exhaust. You can pull this one. This goes to your little pisser hose up front, whatever you want to call it. Blow some air through that. Pull that one off and blow air through it, because that one, you're always going to have water sitting in the end of this cover. It's kind of a U shape. Well, I'll get one of my covers and show it to you. Okay, so here is a Kawasaki front engine cover, and this one is a spare that I have. Obviously, the oil pump is not on it. You can see the oil pump drive shaft in there. But see where the hose comes in here? There is a water passage inside the front of the Kawasaki's, and the 2 cylinders have it as well. And they use that to cool the stator, to try to help the stator life last longer. And here's your exit pipe, the one with no hose on it with that brass fitting there. So these Kawasaki's, it's as good practice to do this at the end of the season also, because if you've sucked up any sand, it'll tend to accumulate in this cover and clog this port up. So you're going to pull that hose, and that's the hose right there that runs from here. You see it, if the lighting will get right. That clamp is on it there. And you're just going to blow through that, and it'll blow any debris back out into the exhaust, like if any sand or whatever. I've heard of people's passages getting blocked by tiny shells and that sort of thing. Also with a Kawasaki, you'll notice that the people say, oh, the oil pump failed. No, guys. What fails is there's a set of 2 bearings in behind that will lock up. So your oil pump probably didn't lock up on your Kawasaki. Those bearings will. They're kind of small, and these are new in here. This is a new stator. This cover's ready to go on. It's got everything but the spring and the washer. But you've got 2 bearings on a Kawasaki. You better replace those if you ever pull this cover, because people forget about it, and those bearings will seize up, and your oil pump, it'll probably tear up something on the shaft. But that's what happens with those, as the bearings go out. But this is about winterizing. So to pull that hose, blow it out. I'm going to blow this one out. And of course, your muffler / water box is always going to have a little bit of water in it, no matter what. You're never going to get all of that out unless you remove the thing and shake it. But that's not that big of a deal. These are 2 strokes. They're not holding water in the engine block where it can crack it or anything like that. Run your engine with the fuel selector set to off, which would be this position here, to get all the fuel out of your carburetor. And then treat your fuel, whatever fuel is left, with fuel stabilizer like Stable. Pull your 3 plugs on this one. Some of the Kawasaki's are going to have 2, obviously, the 750s and whatnot. Put you some fuel stabilizer in for ever how many gallons you've got. This is, I don't know, these are 15, 16 gallon tanks in these. And I'll have to kind of guess how much fuel I have in this tank. I know it's not full all the way, but I think it's a little better than half. I can switch it on and the gauge will tell me. Spray your fogging oil in the tops of your cylinders, and she's ready to sit for the season. Of course, cover it up. And if you have a garage or a barn to put it in, that would be best practice too. So that's it. Thanks for watching Shade Tree Jet Ski. I'm not going to bother to go ahead with all the procedures of showing you this. I'm just telling you what hoses to pull. That one, this one coming up off the cover, it bolts in right there. It's a little hard to get to. I use a nut driver, or you can use a long screwdriver. Pull your plugs, put your oil in, pull your drain plugs, leave it sitting at an angle like this to keep the water from setting up and freezing. And you're good to go. Probably not going to be a whole lot going on in this channel until next spring, so we'll see you when the warmer weather returns. I do have some work to do on my little buddy Yamaha over there. Isn't running right, so carburetor adjustments and that sort of before I winterize it. And we're done. Thanks for watching Shade Tree Jet Ski. See you on the lakes.